That's a good question,
Right.
though. Are we all alcoholics? CH means you're an alky, maybe? By whose definition? Everyone's got their own definition for alcoholics. Every doctor would say probably everybody in here is an alcoholic. If you drink more than 5 drinks a week, it's like, that's bullshit, though. My definition of an alcoholic is when you're getting drunk by yourself consistently.
I think it's when I have to have a drink or like
I would
shit
agree,
like that.
because I don't get drunk. Like, I don't get drunk by myself, like, for sure, but I definitely drink plenty of beers throughout the day.
I've gotten drunk by myself if I'm drinking and playing video games or just like I'm drinking and working on my car. Next thing I know, I'm like, oh, I've drank too many beers.
Yeah.
That's a good question,
Right.
though. Are we all alcoholics?
According to the doctors, probably. You know that comedian Bert?
Kreischer.
Yeah, he had like
A machine.
He was in an interview and he's like, I love alcohol. I will always drink alcohol.
Oh, I've seen them all.
And I will make sure my health is just good, is good enough
yeah.
so I can have a fucking drink. There's nothing like beats having a sunset with a cocktail or friends coming over with some wine or brunch with mimosas, like, right? And like, I'm like, I get that. I understand that.
Right.
But honestly, if you said that, if you really think about it, you're doing everything so you can drink. That's kind of creating a dependency on alcohol, which makes you an alcoholic.
But on the other side of that, in AA, their number one rule is admitting that you're powerless over alcohol. It's like, well, I've also gone out and had 2 or 3 beers 1 billion times. I went out, had 2 or 3 beers. I said, that's it. I'm not going to drink anymore. I'm going to stop and I'm going to drive home and be safe. It wasn't like, oh my God, I can't control this thing. I'm going to stay and just keep drinking here until they throw me out because I can't control myself. No. I was more than aware that I had 2, 3, 4 beers, closed out, drove home, and I had complete power over myself and self-control and willpower. So to admit that I'm powerless over alcohol? No. I'm not in denial either. I mean, I drink a lot, and I was like, yeah, if you're an alcoholic or you smoke weed, you're doing okay. You know, I know some people out there that are, you know, doing hardcore drugs and losing 60 pounds, but you should never compare yourself to anybody else. Like, hey, what's going on?
Right. Is
my body getting fucked up?
Compare it to yourself.
Yeah, because you're always going to feel good about yourself because you're going to compare yourself to shittier people or people that are not as good of your situation.
At least I don't do that.
Yeah, I don't drink as nearly as much as I used to, you know, because I'm a very out of sight, out of mind person. And I lived in my hometown where a lot of people never left. And I liked having a good time and I was always a yes man. So there was just way more opportunities to drink.
Do you get FOMO?
The older I get, no. But I definitely used to have it.
What is that?
Oh, feeling of missing out.
Feeling of missing out.
So I get FOMO real bad.
You're 10 years younger than
But
me.
also, I think one reason why I do get it really bad, growing up, I never was invited to anything. I didn't really have friends growing up when I was young. Like, I was just that weird kid, just people ignored kind of thing. But as I got older, I matured and whatever, I now have a really good friends group. Like, I got you guys, I got, like, my drift friends.
Buddy. So you want to play...
Friends, so, like,
you're catching up for lost time. You got to be there. We got to party.
and so now I'm like catching up. I'm like, oh my God, my friend, all these kids at stores. And so now I don't want to miss out on a great time. Like, and I always like hanging out with my friends.
Yeah.
So somebody says, hey, do you want to do X? Do you feel that you have to say yes?
I don't feel I have to say yes. I really want to say yes.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of times
Even though, shit, I need to take care of this and this at home. But I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it later.
I think that I was probably the exact same way as you were. And I have a lot of friends now. Not a lot, but I have a couple friends when it's 4th of July or New Year's Eve. They'll send out the group text like, what's everyone doing? What's going on? What are we doing? And I would say pretty close to 90% of the people are like, hopefully nothing. Like, I got a 3-year-old toddler. What are you talking about? Going to Vegas for New Year's? We're almost 40. Fuck you. You know, so I think it just gets different when you get older. But
when you get older, for sure.
But as far as back to the alcohol thing goes, when I play golf with my dad, we talked about this today, we don't drink.
Yeah.
You know, when I go hike, I've got hiking friends, some running friends, your workout friends. When you're hanging out with any other people than that, you're drinking. That's just a social thing. And I'm all for that. That's fun. I like drinking. I like playing golf. But when I came out to Knoxville, like, I'd go 5 days sober all the time, but then I would go and have 8 drinks on a Friday night and eat pizza.
Yeah.
Is that an alcoholic or a bender or a binge? You know, or
it's like eating binge, right? It's like you go 5 days eating clean and then you fucking
Getting it in.
And it's like you don't
my chance.
Yeah, you don't go out with this this mindset like, hey, I'm going to drink 10 beers tonight, but you're hanging out and then you're talking to somebody. And if it's a girl, you're going to keep drinking. She wants to get another drink. You're not going to be like, nope, I'm out of here. Of course you're going to, keep hanging out and shooting the shit. Yeah. And then there's a couple days, when I first got out here, I was doing Adderall to kind of get caught up with my backlog. And then it wasn't doing anything for me, but in the beginning, I don't think Adderall works on me anymore. But in the beginning, I would take Adderall and it would curb my appetite. And then I would just drink 8 beers or 6 beers on a happy hour. And I'd be ultra drunk because I haven't had any food all day.
Right.
So when I'm on Homebrew for Life, I have to have I create this persona like it's frat boy shit. And then when people see me on here, we're drinking 8 beers. But every other night out of the week, I'm sitting in my bed playing Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild or watching Last of Us, So am I an alcoholic? My definition of myself would be I'm a weekend alcoholic or a weekend binge drinker. I think that's safe to say. Not to riff on Bert Kreischer's thing, but I love alcohol and I believe in alcohol. And I believe
that's exactly his whole point.
But maybe there's too many times where I didn't earn my beer, because I loved drinking beer after running a marathon or finishing a job in construction. Or I finally got that YouTube video.
I don't like that mentality. Like, oh, you earned this meal, you earned this beer, or whatever.
I love that mentality.
Right?
It tastes better to me.
Okay, if it makes it taste better.
Oh, dude, not even going surfing, and you come out and you go to Jack in the Box and eat a sourdough Jack. It's like best meal you've ever had. If you just go get a sourdough Jack right now,
you want a meal.
Yeah, if I go get a sourdough Jack right now, I'll feel awkward, like I just jerked off or something.
It's really hard for me to say, okay, I can't do this today or this week or this month. Like I can't fathom I'll be honest.
Yeah, you can.
A whole month off.
You're a human. Yeah, humans can do anything. I mean, not fly.
Oh yeah,
but
fair enough. Of course,
you
it's just very hard. Like I said, everyone's different. For you, it seems very easy. Like when I saw you,
it's easy for me in Knoxville.
Even in Austin, when I saw you, I'd say 80, maybe 90% of a pack of cigarettes, so that you wouldn't smoke them. You poured water on them to ruin them, and that takes discipline. Like that's somebody that is going out of their way to say enough is enough, and I'm done with this now, and on to the next thing. Not everybody can do that.
I've probably done that 10 times.
I've noticed from you. That's all. I don't mean to harp on that, but not everybody can do that though, for sure.
Because that's my take with cigarettes. Like I love having cigarettes, or I used to when I was drinking, and then in the morning they would just stare at me like a little kid looking at Skittles, and I was like, dude, if I smoke one now, it's on. Like this is how they get you. Like I said, I've always been an out of sight, out of mind person. We're drinking 6 beers, we're hanging out. There's girls over here. Let's go talk to them. There's drugs over here. Let's do them. There's mushroom. If I don't see any of that, I'm not looking for
Thinking about it.
Yeah. To answer your question, me doing Sober October or something in San Diego, way more difficult.
Yeah.
Way more difficult. And to make it easier on yourself, just don't put yourself in alcoholic situations. Back to this alcoholism thing though, I'm thinking about this though, and I think there's too many labels nowadays. Like everyone's an alcoholic, or this guy's got anxiety or ADHD or depression. It's like everybody is on the spectrum of everything. Some people just have it more like how many people do you know that you're like, this guy should not drink? I have friends that wake up and they drink vodka and they hide it in Gatorade and they go to work and they have kids. I knew people
Keezer from.
Yeah, like I've known people that drink vanilla extract and hairspray to get high because they were that addicted to alcohol.
What?
Yeah, there was a thing, I think it was like TLC, where some dude was like drinking sanitizer.
But I think everyone's is on the spectrum of that. Everyone's got anxiety or ADHD. It's just a balance of it. Some people have it more than others. Right. Some people overthink it. Some people just play it off.
I would agree with that, and I think that goes
through
for
it
pretty
kind
much
of
everything.
thing.
Yeah, I think alcoholism is on a spectrum. Just to label somebody an alcoholic, I think that there's alcoholics out there that are in like DEFCON 5, and then there's alcoholics out there that are in like DEFCON 1, and you could pretty much be DEFCON 1 through 3 probably your whole life and be fine and have a rad life. So I think everything's just kind of on the spectrum now, and everything is just too loosely labeled. And to me, that goes for everything. People are going, I'm an insomniac, or I'm just like, well, let's go work construction for a week. Trust me, you can sleep just fine. Just because you sleep until noon and don't do shit all day and stare at your phone, that doesn't mean you're, an insomniac. That means you didn't do anything.
That's fucking hilarious.